Hello once again. There you are. I'd like to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on what part of the world you're watching. And I'm going to have to open up the comments and say hi, Jake. Hi, Nancy, John, Marcia, Doug, good man, Doug, Sandra. Welcome to the show. I'm really looking forward to tonight's show. I have a special guest coming on in a few minutes. His name is Rob Jones, and he's going to be talking about being an Elvis fan and showing you some of his collection. Marie's the name. Hi, Steve. I'd like to thank everybody for the nice messages that they sent during the week and the nice emails. Don McLennan, if you're watching in, thanks very much. I got an email from you just a few minutes before we went live. I haven't had a chance to read it all yet, but I will reply to it. D Horn Jr. 1:30 here in Memphis. Hiya, Don. That's my friend Don. Good to see you. Danny, live like the Roanoke, Virginia 1972 promo at the start. Okay. Yeah, I know. Did anybody see that Warner Brothers made a announcement yesterday, I believe, about the new Tom Hanks movie being made by Baz Luhrmann? It could now go straight to video streaming, DVD, or whatever you like to call it, which means we probably won't get an opportunity to go to the movie houses and watch it, which is a bit of a disappointment if that's the case. It's just all to do with the coronavirus and the fallout from that. So that's a bit of bad news if it's true. They could change their minds and put it into the movie houses, but I would prefer to see it in a movie house first. Looking forward to seeing the movie on HBO Max. Yes, Don, that's correct. Yeah. Hi, Jolanka. How are you doing? Don't forget, coming up is the Elvis Fan of the Week quiz. It's at the moment it's 2-2 to the girls and 2 to the boys, so it'll be interesting to see who goes ahead and makes it 3-2. That's if everybody gets the questions right. Could be no winner. I don't know. Did anybody see as well that Priscilla finally sold her home in California for $13 million? I think it was $3 million less than she was asking. So I don't know where she's headed now. If anybody has any news of where Priscilla is going, if they know where she's moving to, or why she was selling the house. I think it was the house that Elvis bought her, I think. Sandra says he's not surprised because all the new films on Warner Brothers are going to HBO Max. Yeah, well, there you go. I know a few people are actually seeing that's the way it is. I think it's today. Some of the screenings are in the movie houses. Hi, Greg. How are you doing? Are you going to take part in the movie? Not the movie. The quiz tonight? One stipulation. I know it's very tempting, but if you can try not to Google the answers, it'd be appreciated. You know, just try and see if you can work it out just by some of the clues I'll give you as well. So with no further ado, I'm going to put my headphones on and we're going to introduce Rob Jones. He's an Elvis Presley fan and we'll have a little chat with him and then he can show some of his gems to us. So hi, Rob.
Hello.
How's
things, everybody? Great, thanks.
Come on, show us your t-shirt. Yes, young Elvis. He was telling me before we came on air that it was a choice of that or the 1968 comeback special.
Yes, all the way from America.
So you can show the other one next time you come on anyway. Okay, so what have you got behind you as well? You've got some pillows and things like that, have you?
Oh yes. Jailhouse Rock, obviously.
Nice.
Oh yes. Blackpool. All the way from Blackpool.
Oh yeah.
A very young one. Christmas present about 10 years ago.
Oh yeah, very young Elvis, 1956.
Yeah. And my favourite 60s Elvis.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's probably from
I think it's,
Roustabout.
I was just to say Roustabout.
Yeah, I think it is Roustabout. Yeah, yeah.
And then, as you can see behind me, a couple of pictures. I can just slightly adjust my camera. Trimmed up for Christmas.
Oh yeah.
That my partner bought me when we moved into our property.
What are the CDs? Are those CDs random?
Yeah, they're just picture discs. That's all.
Right, right. Okay, very, very nice. Very nice.
Drive her nuts, to be honest, Steve.
Yeah, yeah. Well, my family as well have to put up with my Elvis obsession as well. They know I'm not going to change. So
I'm totally besotted with the man. I'm
so there you
51
go.
years old. 51 years old, and ever since I can remember,
Yeah.
love the man. Love the man.
Sue P says she loves your T-shirt.
Oh, thank you, Sue.
Okay, so are you going to? Oh yeah, somebody else there says Roustabout as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, we were right. We were right. So are you going to show us some of your? Well, first of all, how did you become an Elvis fan, or was it just
Well,
like?
it was my father, originally from South Wales.
Okay.
The original, one of the very, very first Teddy Boys in South Wales. And moved to England, met my mother, thank goodness. And he always loved him from a very young age, waking up on a Sunday morning, radiogram, before they're playing Elvis. So I was sort of drilled into me that how great the music was. And when I was about 3 to 4 years old, I had a jumpsuit made, purple jumpsuit with sequins all around the collar and down the sides and everything, and a red and white guitar. And the very first album I owned was on a single cassette player, which was Camden US Mail.
Oh yes, 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 yeah. I remember that one. Yeah.
And I've got that one as well. And we actually bought it on vinyl. So I've still got the original vinyl from all those years ago. I think it was about 75, 76 we bought it. And excuse my cat. And
no, that's okay. That's all right. The more the merrier.
And my father and I sort of, when my father passed 17 years ago, I carried on building the collection from what he had from originally the originals from the 50s. And I've carried on and carried on and carried on. And thank you to you guys. The latest one.
Oh yes, yeah. We were discussing that with Jake last week, I think. Yeah, it was last week.
The CD.
Yeah. Brilliant.
What a man. What a man.
What a man is right. Yeah.
And it's on memory stick in my car. Because unfortunately my car's too new to play CDs, so I've got a memory stick. It's in the car, driving my partner mad when we go out.
Yeah, I'm the same. I have it. I have it on vinyl. I have it on CD. Then I have it when I won't say it because if I say it, it'll start up. But I've got it on the bedroom speaker and the living room speaker, the smart speaker, and then my car's the same as yours. My car streams as well, so I have it in the car. So it's just everywhere. I've played it to death over the last week because it's so good.
But my favorite album of all time.
Promised Land.
I love it.
Right.
This is my favorite Elvis album.
I must admit now that's quite an unusual choice. I think. I wouldn't have been so surprised if you'd have held up something like from Elvis in Memphis or something like that. But Promised Land is quite an unusual one.
I love it.
Yeah.
The songs on it, my favorite. Thinking About You, love that one. Mr. Songman, love that one.
Yeah.
In fact, I had a hospital appointment yesterday and I played it in the car. And then we come to another one I've recently found. by Centennial Show.
Oh yeah, that's another good one. Yeah, yeah. Follow That Dream. Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely brilliant album.
brilliant. Yeah, yeah.
And then I was lucky enough to have bought me for my birthday 827, sorry, Thomas Street.
Oh yes, yeah. Has that got any outtakes on it, or is it just?
Yes, yeah.
I must admit, I'm not familiar with that one.
No, it's
Yeah,
absolutely brilliant.
yeah.
It's very similar to the current one. Very similar.
Of course,
American
that
sound.
isn't that artwork doesn't really match up with the front cover because
No.
that's not really taken from the '69 sessions. But that is rare.
No.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Jake is saying actually, he's saying that is rare. So he's right. Yeah, yeah. That's a rare one.
Another birthday present.
Oh yeah, fabulous, absolutely fabulous kit. Yeah.
Two books, 8 CDs, and I'm halfway through it.
Only halfway through it. So you got another half to enjoy.
But going back to my father's collection, and these are original.
Wow, Date with Elvis, and that's the original one.
The original RCA Victor. And again, after I lost my father, we carried it on. Again, all original.
Wow, Elvis is back. Yeah.
And people can see that, but it's the original RCA Black Label.
See the black label. Yeah. Yeah.
And to be honest, some of them I don't play. They are.
Well, no, because you know, keep them in as pristine condition as possible.
And another one of my favourite albums.
Oh, without doubt. Yeah, without doubt.
Love it. Love the gospel.
Yeah.
Love it when he sings gospel. Nobody can touch him. And then I just so happened to stumble across
oh yeah, I remember having that years ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you got volume 2 as well? Have you got the other volume? Ah, yeah, yeah. That originally came with a piece of scarf or a bed sheet or something, I think, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my partner, bless her, love it to bits. She got me the
oh yeah, the comeback special. Yeah. Is that a box set? Yeah.
The box set.
Yeah.
With the black leather.
Fantastic.
But years ago, I was actually a entertainer, a singer, many years ago. And I used to actually sing a lot of Elvis. And it's people like young Jake, thankfully, that's keeping the guy going.
Yeah, I was very impressed with Jake last week, I must admit. I think I remember saying, you know, he was a credit to the Elvis Presley fandom, really, isn't he? And he very talented young man, and also he knows a lot. He knows an awful lot about.
Oh,
Elvis.
doesn't he just? Doesn't he just?
Yeah, he's been to Graceland. He says he's going back as well. So
I would love to go. Really love to go to Graceland. If I get my illness sorted out, then I'll be gone tomorrow. Yeah.
Well, traveling at the moment is very difficult anyway because of the coronavirus. But yeah, it's. I don't know how the guest house is doing. I would imagine they're suffering because of so few overseas fans at the moment. Yeah, but
But it's people like Jake, obviously, the young ones. We're getting the message across that there is music, better music, shall we say. I don't listen to anything modern at all.
No, I listen to very little modern music as well. There's a few things now and again, but the really, really modern stuff. I mean, I call modern stuff sort of 1990s and 2000s. You know, I don't. I couldn't tell you one record now that's in the top 20.
I
couldn't name it. Couldn't name it. So,
have you got anything?
Have you got anything else to? Have you got anything else to show us?
Yeah, quite a
stash.
Oh yes. Now this is.
Oh yeah, mine was yellow vinyl. Is yours yellow vinyl?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I suppose they'd say gold actually, but I call it yellow.
Yeah, it's a good album. Cracking album, in fact. I love the album. And one of the last ones, unfortunately, I got with my father. I'm just trying to find it. Because my father became ill and we couldn't go out anymore or anything.
There's somebody asking there while you're looking. Have you got the original blue vinyl Moody Blue album?
No, unfortunately not.
There you go. No. Okay.
That's the very first one. That was the very first one.
Yeah.
Love that album.
Yeah, it's a great album. Yeah.
I'm just trying to find them.
Yeah, that one looks familiar. Yeah.
It was tribute to Elvis.
Is that the one with the Elvis medley on?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought I recognized it. Yeah, picture disc were big in the 80s.
Not been played for years. The very last one me and my father bought, and again it's a Camden.
Oh, Love Songs. Yeah.
Love Songs. That was the very final one that, before my father was bedridden, we actually went out and bought this together.
Yeah.
And again, when I lost my dad, I decided that's just my vinyl. I've got 160 Elvis CDs.
Wow.
Yeah. Too many to show, unfortunately. But I've got things that had friends in Scotland I went to see many, many years ago. And he gave me quite a few of the Tiger Sessions.
The what's? Oh, yeah.
The Tiger Sessions CDs. Great. And I've got CDs in there, so quite a lot of the concerts. I'm just looking across actually at my CDs right now because they're in front of me, but quite a lot of the movie. I've got all the movie soundtracks on CD. What else have I got? I've got all the albums on CD, all the 70s albums. I would say my favourite era for Elvis is 70s, 69 onwards.
Yeah.
When the music, I thought the music became more serious. I mean, I do like the early sessions.
Every time I've tried to pick a favorite era, I can't. You know, I think, well, is it the 50s? Is it the 60s? And then I think, well, I like certain things from the 50s, so it's the 50s. And I think, well, hang on, the 60s. And then I give up. I just say, right, it's all of it. It's all of it.
I did actually buy the Boy from Tupelo collection.
Yeah.
Early days from the Sun to later on, and I love it. I love that the early stuff I really love.
Oh yeah, I mean it's very, very hard to beat the Sun stuff. It's very, very hard.
The Sun stuff's amazing.
I actually did a podcast, and I actually split it up over 2 episodes because I couldn't fit it all in one episode. So I just, I gave a lot of time and dedication to the 2 Sun podcasts. So yeah, I agree with you there. That's true.
And of course on DVD as well. I've got all the films, obviously, and I've got a great copy of Rocking on New Year's Eve '76.
Oh yes, yeah.
Good concert.
Yeah. What do you think? How do you think this new movie is going to turn out that is being made at the moment in Australia with Tom Hanks? Do you think it'll just be another one where they kind of all twist the and things like that?
Definitely.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, isn't it?
I was lucky enough to go last year to Sheffield Arena to see the concert.
Yeah.
And Priscilla was there with the orchestra, and a great night. The only thing that annoyed me was, obviously, being a fan, you know all the songs, and I'd got people next to us who I think had just come for a jolly.
Oh.
And they were like, "Oh, don't know this one.
Oh,
what's he
no.
doing? What's he doing on the screen? What's he doing on the screen?" And I was like, if they don't shut up in a minute.
Somebody's asking, do you have the Reader's Digest box set from 1986? I have that. I think it was before 1986, though. I think I seem to remember it being late 70s.
Yes,
Elvis Presley's greatest hits.
Not one I've got, I don't think. I'm just having a quick scat through.
He has the nail suit on the front cover, and the one thing I remember was the 6 albums. When you put them, when you put them together, the back of them, if you put them together, it made up a big photograph of Elvis on stage. So, is he going to come up with it?
No, fortunately.
No.
But the original.
Oh yeah. Another original, yeah.
Another original with the.
Oh yeah, is that red? That's red label.
Yes,
yeah.
Red label.
Burgundy label.
But thank you to my father. It's. I'm glad I met. I got into Elvis, and it's one of those kind of people. I think that with Elvis, he's one of those kind of people that no matter if you're having a good day or a bad day, if you're especially having a bad day, you listen to Elvis, and he picks you up.
Yes, definitely. I agree. Fans will agree with me. He's helped me through many dark times, and I'm sure he's helped. Yeah, and I'm sure he's helped people looking in now. They've been helped through bad times with Elvis as well. So I agree with you. That's 100%. That's a great thing to say. And I said last week as well, he's always been a constant in my life. There's been people and things have come in and gone out of my life again, but Elvis has always been in my life constantly.
Well, we're losing both parents. My father's funeral, we played Elvis as we left the church, and for my mother, because my mother and father were buried together, I actually chose "I Remember You" to play as we left the church. Just the lyrics alone were,
What an absolutely brilliant choice of music. Absolutely brilliant. Always on My Mind would have been another good one, wouldn't it?
Yes, Always on My Mind. It's a song that me and my partner don't talk about because she likes a certain band's version and I hate it. Detest it. Can't stand it.
The Pet Shop Boys. Yeah. They were big Elvis fans, though. I think they did it as a tribute to him, didn't they? I think.
If it comes on the radio, I turn the radio off.
Yeah.
No, it's people should leave his music alone. That's my personal opinion.
What do you think of the Philharmonic Orchestra ones then? Those albums, you like
Fantastic.
those? Do you? Love them. Because you went to the show, obviously, so
good job.
Liked them. Yeah.
I mean, I know we're all Elvis fans, but I've actually just bought Johnny Cash's version with the orchestra.
Yeah, and do you know something? I saw an advert on the television today as well. They've done one with Neil Diamond as well.
Yeah, I'm thinking about that one because I do quite like a little bit of Neil Diamond. Obviously, Sweet Caroline, but the Johnny Cash one is very different because obviously Johnny Cash, Elvis, Sun Studios, and I've always liked Johnny Cash. But yeah, this is definitely different.
Yeah.
Elvis Nashville, yeah.
Elvis is the first again, and everybody else follows because the first ones they did was with Elvis, and then everybody else follows again. So,
Yeah.
it's a nice thing to see. Nice thing to see. Okay, well, I've enjoyed our wee chat, and some of those LPs and CDs you've shown. Definitely a couple of them I hadn't seen before. I hadn't seen that one from 1969. That was a complete shock. It was very rare, that one.
Yeah.
Well, Neil Diamond is with the London Symphony Orchestra. Yes, that's right, John. Yeah, he is.
Yeah, sorry, Job. Yeah. But just trying to see what. This is one I actually recently got.
Legendary Performer Volume 3, is it?
Yes, Volume 4.
Volume 4. All right, yeah. Oh, I got that one when it first came out. The Legendary Performer series was great.
Yeah, it was the one I've been after for a long time, and it just popped up, and I thought I've got to have that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I drive people mad. I drive people mad with my passion of Elvis, to be honest.
Yeah. Volume 4 is right. Yeah, I thought it was Volume 3,
Jake.
but Jake has put me right. I knew Jake would.
Yeah,
I just couldn't remember which picture was on which. So,
but I love that lad, Jay. You're amazing.
Yeah, he is. I agree.
And then obviously the current one.
Oh yes, yeah, that's another great one.
Got it both on CD as well. So my daughter bought me that.
You're well CD'd up and live streamed and everything. So streaming in the car and.
I don't get enough of the guy, to be honest.
No. You can never have enough Elvis, that's for sure. Oh, the Alternate Aloha.
Yeah. But
some people actually prefer the rehearsal show to the actual broadcast show.
I do.
He looked better in the second one, the actual broadcast one, because his hair was too long for the rehearsal, and he had to have Paddy Perry come over and give him a haircut and a restyle. But
another rare one.
Oh yeah, I remember getting that one. A talking album only.
Yeah.
That just goes to show how many soundboard recordings must be around, because they're all from different concerts, and it's just the songs cut out and all the talking in between.
But this is an album again that I could listen to over and over again.
Yeah, no, that's not everybody's favorite, but it's got some great songs. Yeah, it's got some great songs
on it.
Yeah,
it has some great songs on it. And as we decided to discuss the other week, the very last recorded album.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, now some people disagree with me when I say that that's Elvis's last studio album. They say, "Well, what about the Jungle Room sessions? The Jungle Room sessions?" But that wasn't really a recording studio,
No. And the one thing I cannot watch, well, I can watch it, but it really, really upsets me. It's the last concert.
Yeah. Well, for obvious reasons. Yeah,
I sit and watch that, and it's
words. Oh yeah.
I mean, people look at me funny because when I think of Elvis and think of the last concert and things, yes, I do break down and cry. And that's my love for the guy. Sometimes I think, okay, it's been 43 years. When I hear all these people saying, "Oh, it's a fake. Elvis is alive. Elvis is alive." No, he's not. No, he's not.
No.
He's up there. And the lucky thing I think about Steve is, lucky thing is my father's met him.
Yeah, I know.
That's up there now. I met him.
That's a consolation. That's a consolation, all right.
you know, I'm thankful that he was here. I'm thankful that Elvis did this and he's brought everybody together.
Yeah, I'm thankful as well that we actually lived the same time as Elvis did. You know, there's people who you know weren't around when Elvis was around, and they have no idea the impact he has and still has today.
Exactly.
You tell me
you tell me another entertainer in 43 years' time who people are going to love, people are going to look up to. None. The modern pop stars. Nobody's going to know the modern pop stars in 10 years.
No, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Simple as that.
This is the power of the man.
Yeah.
43 years. Elvis died on 16th of August, 77. We're now in 2020, and he's as big now as he was then. The power of the man.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, who would have thought? Like, you know, I mean, today, okay, it's not happening at the moment because of the coronavirus, but 600,000 people visit Graceland per year.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, 600,000. Unbelievable, really.
It is.
Unbelievable.
And the thing that annoy me, sorry, Steve, but the thing that really annoys me is people coming up with, oh, he died on the toilet eating a cheeseburger. No, he didn't.
Yeah, I know.
My ex-family did that to me all the time. I was married before. It was like, oh, Elvis fan. Oh, he was fat, overweight, and died on the. Oh,
I know. Well, I still get asked. One of the first questions people ask me when I say I'm an Elvis fan is, "Oh, so you still think he's alive? Then, do you?" And I say, "No, I don't. No. That's the last thing I think."
Remember getting ready for school and seeing a grown man crying in the kitchen. My father. Listening to Terry Wogan on Radio 2 as it was, and coming down, getting ready for school, and my father saying, I don't believe it. And I said, don't believe what? And he said, it's just been announced that Elvis has died. And I glared, and I've seen a grown man crying his eyes out, and I couldn't go to school that day because the power of Elvis, you know. It was a case of, was that mean no more music?
I think even people that weren't Elvis fans will remember where they were when they heard, you know, because it was such an earth-shattering moment. You didn't have to be an Elvis fan to realize the enormity of the moment when it was announced that he died. It's you know, it's just one of those earth-shattering moments.
Very true.
Okay. I'd like to thank you for joining us and showing us all your little bits and pieces. You've probably got more, have you? You haven't finished yet, no?
No, I can get the CDs out if you wish.
We could always. I tell you, we could save it for another episode, actually, if you want. We could do CDs and books next time.
I don't want to bore people. That's all, you know. It's
no, you won't bore people.
I'm very passionate about the man. Very passionate.
I can tell you. Yeah. We could save the books and CDs for next time.
Yeah. You know. Okay. And I am. I mean, not to keep you going, Steve. I know you got the quiz to do, but when it's like, okay, I lost my parent. I lost my father 17 years ago. I lost my mum 3 years ago. It's a case of I'm with Elvis. I'm with my mum. I'm with my dad.
Yeah.
It's not just the power of it. Bringing back the good times, my happy times in my life of listening to Elvis and thinking back childhood, growing up. I'm trying to get my kids, well, not kids, they're 21 and 17, but trying to get them to listen to my kind of music is no chance. Favourite film and favourite song? Favourite song is Any Day Now. My favourite film, and this will surprise people, is The Trouble with Girls and How to Get Into It.
What?
Yeah. Because I like the way he looked. I love the way he looked.
Yeah. I mean, I must admit, most people say King Creole, don't they? Or Jailhouse Rock or something like that. I mean, King Creole is one of my favorites. Jailhouse Rock is another one of my favorites. But I have a real soft spot for Viva Las Vegas.
Oh, definitely.
You know?
Definitely, yeah. The only one I didn't really rate was Tickle Me.
Oh yeah, tickle me.
Yeah, I
Actually,
did.
one of the questions coming up in the quiz is about tickle me. So keep an eye on that. You can actually you can enter if you like. You never know. You might win. You might win. So yeah, I think I have a soft spot for Viva Las Vegas as well because Anne Margaret was just so gorgeous.
Oh,
She
once she
she
just,
was.
once she, yeah,
Um,
definitely.
and she's
And all,
she's at the top of my list. If I could get an interview with Anne, I would be made up.
well,
You
actually, to
know.
be honest, close first is actually Loving You.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right there, Becky. Yeah,
Harem Scarum was his worst.
Karen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Follow That Dream was another
the
good
dream,
one. Yeah. Blue
brilliant film.
Hawaii. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, we could go on and on and on. But if I had to make a short list, Viva Las Vegas would be on the short list.
yeah. Viva Las Vegas, definitely. Roustabout's a good one.
Yeah, Roustabout is another good one. Vincenzo is saying that she's on Facebook, but I don't think it's probably a fan page. I don't think Anne herself is actually on. I must have a look.
Yeah, that's a good idea, actually.
It would
Yeah,
strike me. It would strike me that she would probably talk to me if I could kind of do it the right way, because she strikes me as just a lovely woman.
I've just remembered it was Jerry Schilling at the concert.
Oh right, yeah,
And
Jerry Schilling and Priscilla, wasn't it? I think.
Yes, it was very, very intimate, showing us pictures on the screen and videos, and absolutely brilliant she was. I took my hat off to her.
Yeah, yeah. Somebody else here is saying Wild in the Country is a good movie. Yeah, Wild in the Country is a good one. Yeah.
Good film.
Yeah. Change of Habit, Jailhouse Rock, Blue Hawaii.
Change of Habit, very good. I like Change of Habit. Very good
And
film.
don't forget Charo. I know he only sang one song in that, and that was over the credits. But yeah, no, Charo was okay.
I've got to show my girlfriend that film. She doesn't believe that Elvis had a beard, so I've got to play that film to
her. Yeah, and he looked good. The beard looked good.
She's really learning. Yeah, she's learning after 3.5 years of being together. She's actually learning.
Oh, somebody is saying Tuesday Weld. Yeah, Tuesday Weld was another. Yes. Tuesday, very, very nice. Very nice.
Very nice.
Not as good as Anne Margaret, but very nice. Yeah. Very nice. Very nice. Right, I'm gonna let you go because we're gonna do this quiz because I'm interested to know who's gonna win, the girls or the boys. So thanks, Rob, for joining me on the show. And yeah, Elvis, the T-shirt. Don't forget, you can come back on and you can do the CDs and the books next.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you very much.
Okay, cheers. That was Rob Jones, fan from the UK, showing us a few of his rare bits and pieces. And we're going to be doing this Elvis quiz in a little while. I'd just like to say a few things. What do I want to say? I want to say, don't forget to check out my podcast channel. And also, if you want to, I don't even know what buttons I'm pushing here now. I'm actually making a mess of this. Oh yes, if you want to join me like Rob did on the show, you can send me an email to elvistheultimatefan@gmail.com. That's what I was trying to get across to you. Particularly if you met anybody personally that was connected with Elvis. If you saw Elvis live, I'd like to speak to you. If you met Elvis, definitely I would love to speak to you, because that would just be absolutely awesome. And there was one other thing I wanted to say, and it's gone out of my head. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to do the quiz. Now, the way we're going to do it is I'm going to give you about 5 minutes on each question. And after the 5 minutes is up, you don't have to answer that question anymore. I see Leanne is in the building. Leanne was last week's winner, I believe. Yeah, she was Leanne Penrod. Yeah, Leanne. So You have 5 minutes per question, roughly. John, Todd Slaughter. I'm reading Todd Slaughter's book at the moment, and I'm then going to ask Todd if he'll come on the show and have a wee chat with me. I've got 2 interviews coming up in the next week, both females, very, very close to Elvis. They knew Elvis intimately, so those are 2 young ladies that I'm going to have to speak to, and then I'll let you know when I'm going to upload those interviews. So I have a busy week coming up. So 5 minutes for each question, and then after the 5 minutes, you can stop answering, and I'll see if anybody's got it right. And I'm going to do the first question now, and the first question is: what amount did Sam Phillips pay Elvis for back royalties when he signed for RCA in 1955? Okay. What amount did Sam Phillips pay Elvis for back royalties when he signed for RCA? Okay, Jake, no, unfortunately not. Actually, 35,000 is what they paid for the contract. 35,000, but I'm after what amount he was paid back royalties. So yes, he was paid 35,000 for the contract, but then Sam gave Elvis something extra for back royalties. Okay, Chris. So the Chris art student is: what amount did Sam Phillips pay Elvis for back royalties when he signed for RCA in 1955? No, Jake, that's not right, unfortunately. I'm going to say that one person has actually got it right. 40,000 is too high. $250, no. Unfortunately not. Okay. Any more answers? Okay, we got a few coming through. 5K says Ian Cook. Matt Soar says 5K as well. 35,000. David, no, 35,000 was what he was actually he paid RCA paid Sam. But what did they pay Elvis for the royalties, back royalties? 50,000. Wow, that's high. Elvis would have been over the moon for that. Okay, we've got a few right answers so far. Doug says 35 for the contract and 5K to Elvis. It's okay, Chris R. I can repeat the first one again. What amount did Sam Phillips pay Elvis for back royalties when he signed for RCA in 1955? Okay, Bob says, I met Elvis Christmas 56 at Audubon Drive. Wow, that would be very interesting to hear about. Very interesting. You can actually, if you want, anybody that met Elvis, if they can send me an email to Elvis the Ultimate Fan Channel at gmail.com, I'd be happy to speak to them. Because I'd love to speak to anybody that actually met Elvis, or if there's anybody listening that saw Elvis live, got to meet him, anything like that, that'd be brilliant. Okay, so I'm going to say that we're nearly finished this first question. Okay. Steve, you can contact Anne Margaret through her official website. She doesn't talk about Elvis, though. No, that's no good. I need her to speak about Elvis. Okay, now there's quite a few correct answers. So I'm actually going to pull the plug on the question 1 in a second. Okay. Rob says he hopes he didn't bore people. No, there was some great stuff there. Rob, some great stuff. I loved seeing that stuff. And you can do the books and the CDs next time. I'm sure you got plenty of books. Okay, right. So that's the end of the first question. And we're going to do the second question now. Okay, don't forget it's 2-2. It's 2 to the boys and 2 to the girls. So whoever wins tonight can go ahead. Question 2, and I actually preempted this earlier on when I was talking to Rob. He mentioned Tickle Me, and I says, well, one of the questions is actually about Tickle Me. I wonder if anybody can guess what the question is going to be. And basically it is, out of all of Elvis's movies, what was unique about Tickle Me? Okay, and we're going to do 5 minutes for that. Okay, John says, Rob certainly didn't bore me, far from it. No, it was a great collection he had. Rob Jones, you were awesome. There you go. Rob, if you're still watching. Okay. Yeah, Jake was as well. Jake was last week, yeah. And Doug Dickerson as well. Yeah, Angie, I asked for Angie, and Graceland said no, I couldn't speak to her. They wouldn't allow me to speak to Angie. Okay. So, out of all the Elvis movies, what was unique about Tickle Me? Okay, Rob Jones is saying songs were recorded before the film. Something different with Elvis films. Mystery comedy. Yeah, I wouldn't really say that was unique, though. First movie with no songs written for it. Okay. Okay, we've got a few answers coming through, and there is a couple of people that have got it right. Okay, Robert, I like that. I'm actually going to put that up on the screen. It was not very good. Yeah. Okay. No soundtrack released, only EP. Okay, it was an Allied artist movie, is correct. In fact, he actually took a smaller fee, as far as I remember, or he didn't take any of the profits, and it saved Allied artists because they were going bankrupt. What was unique about Tickle Me? All the girls. No, there was always plenty of girls in Elvis's movies, that's for sure. Ruth says made in 14 days. Yeah, there was probably a couple of other ones that were made in 14 days as well. I think Harem Scarum was made in 18 days. Yeah, it was made very quickly. Yeah. There was there was definitely a couple of people that have got it right. Again, the worst fan is me. Yeah, he only took 750,000 plus 50 of the profits, and they normally asked for $1 million, I believe, didn't they? They were asking $1 million by then. Marcia says she didn't see it, so she has no idea. Right. So I've made a note of the people that have got it right. And there are people who have got the first two questions right. So I'm actually going to call a halt to question 2. As I said at the top of the show, actually, I appreciate all the nice comments that I hear from from people that watch these live streams and watch my YouTube channel and listen to my podcasts. And people are saying, thanks for bringing the interviews to people that knew Elvis. And it's my pleasure. It really is. I love it as much. I love listening to the people that I interview as much as you do. And I'm going to keep it up. And as I was saying, I've got 2 people close to Elvis to interview this coming week. So I'm hoping that you get a kick out of that as well. They were females and they were close to Elvis. And then I've also just closed another one as well, but I won't unfortunately be able to speak to her until the early part of the new year. And again, she was close to Elvis. She was very close to Elvis right to the very, very end of his life. So, right, that's the end of question number 2. So that means that I am going to give you the third and final question. And I'm hoping that the people that got 1 and 2 is going to hit this right as well. So I'm going to have a winner. And question 3 coming up. What was the first song Elvis, Scotty, and Bill recorded in Sun Studio on July 5th, 1954? Okay, that was the same night that he recorded That's All Right, Mama. Okay, that very, very first, what you could call full-blown recording session on the evening of July 5th, 1954. What was the first song they committed to tape? Okay, just had to check something there. I Love You Because, no. Blue Moon, Hound Dog, no. Milk Cow Blues Boogie, no. I Love You Because. I love you because. My Happiness, no. That was the very, very first thing he recorded. My Happiness. That was for his mother, wasn't it? On acetate. I'll Never Stand in Your Way. Okay. Harbor Lights. No, Jake, it wasn't I'll Never Stand in Your Way. No, that was one of the acetates that he recorded for his mother. Don says Harbor Lights. Blue Moon of Kentucky. Blue Moon of Kentucky, I think, was recorded the next night to get a B-side for That's All Right. If not the next night, a few nights later. Could have been the 6th. Jake says Harbor Lights. Ruth says Harbor Lights. Vincenzo says Harbor Lights. Who's been Googling and getting the... Not that I'm saying that's correct, but it's 3 in a row there, Harbor Lights. Rob says Harbor Lights. Yeah, Scott Jenkins says Kentucky was 2 nights later, July the 7th. I thought it was either the 6th or the 7th. I wasn't sure. I Love You Because was actually recorded that night. Anybody's ever been to Sun Studios, it's something else. It makes the hairs on the back of your neck stand up on your head, and especially when you see the little cross marked out on the floor where Elvis would have stood, and then a little hole in the parquet flooring where Bill Black's bass stood. Yeah, I'm not surprised, Jake. Yeah. Doug says Harbor Lights. Okay, Don, I Love You Because was recorded second, just before That's All Right, Mama. Okay. So, what was recorded just before I Love You Because? Whoever gets that is going to... No, it's not I Love You Because, Sandro, no. That's When Your Heartaches Begin. No, it wasn't. Yeah, David, I was listening to that How Do You Think I Feel kind of run through, and Elvis is way off mic and Scotty is doing the tryout. Matt Soar says Harbor Lights. It's a pity Elvis was so far off mic when they were doing How Do You Think I Feel. Yeah. Okay, so again, Harbor Lights. JC22 says Harbor Lights. It wouldn't be the same without you. Danny Hingley, nope. Tomorrow Night. Tomorrow Night's a great, a great song. I like it. Okay, so a few more stabs at it from people, and then I'm going to end it off, cut it off, and I will pick a winner after I've done my scientific way of choosing the winner. Scientific method of throwing the pen down and seeing whose name it lands on. What do you think of My Happiness? Yeah, I thought it was a good stab. To be honest, yeah, I mean, he was obviously very nervous. The very, very first time he'd ever been in a recording studio. My Happiness is awesome. It's just raw Elvis. Yeah, is it right? It is right. Yeah. Okay. Right. So, one more minute. If anybody wants to take a guess at what was the first song Elvis, Scotty, and Bill recorded in the Sun Studio on July the 5th, 1954. I know why some people are saying My Happiness, but no, I mean, that was the first thing he recorded, yes. But what was the first thing he recorded with Scotty and Bill? Yeah, he's supposed to have recorded My Happiness for his mother, yeah. I agree, Don, yeah. Don says that I Love You Because... no, Blue Moon is very haunting, yeah. There's a rumor as well that he did a recording of Tiger Man, but it never actually... well, it's probably lost. I mean, I don't know whether it was recorded over or whether it's completely lost forever, or whether it's just lying in a box somewhere mislabeled, like the Harbor Lights tapes. Yeah, everybody's agreeing with what Jake is saying there. I just miss Elvis. I cry when I think he has gone. I never got the chance to meet him. I know. I feel your pain, buddy. I really do. I really do. Yeah, Don is saying that he thinks that Tiger Man was recorded over. It probably was, to be honest. Yeah, sadly. I was hoping it might be like the Harbor Lights tape that turned up in Steve Scholes' drawer. Maybe it'll turn up someday, but it's It's been a long time now, isn't it? A long, long time. Right. So, I do have a winner. So I'm going to clear that off the screen, and I will. I just clear that off the screen. Now, don't forget, people, that you can follow the channel on Facebook and Twitter, and you can email me at elvistheultimatefanchannel@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you. I really would. Don't forget to check out my podcast channel too, Elvis the Ultimate Fan Channel. Okay, so the winner this week is somebody called JC22. So I don't know whether that is male or female. So if JC22 could let me know, male or female, and we will then know who is ahead, the boys or the girls. That's very kind of you. Thanks, Jake. Shout outs also have got to go to Donnie Stevens, Ian Cook, Matt Soar, Marie's the Name, Vicky Clausen, Vincenzo. I think I can't read my writing here, but I think it says Paul Black, and the reason being is because those people either got all three correct, or at least two, I think, by my notes here. And some of them could have got all three. But JC22 is the winner. And I see that JC is female, which means it is now 2 to the boys and 3 to the girls. So the girls take the lead. So, and as you can see, there's a lot of congratulations coming in here for you, JC. Okay, a lot of people are saying congratulations and so forth. So I hope that I didn't make them too difficult. And I suppose we really ought to run through the answers just in case. What amount did Sam Phillips pay Elvis for back royalties when he signed for RCA in 1955? Well, I think probably what he did was he asked RCA to give him the money to give to Elvis, and whoever gave it to him, whether it was Sam or whether it was RCA, tacked it onto the $35,000 they'd already paid. It was $5,000. $5,000 in royalties, back royalties. Okay. Question 2: out of all the Elvis movies that was unique, sorry, I'll start it again. Out of all the Elvis movies, what was unique about Tickle Me? There was no soundtrack recordings done for Tickle Me. They used existing records or tracks and recordings that had already been recorded. I think Jake said that one of the songs was from Elvis's back, Dirty Dirty Feeling. So that was to save money, because there was very little money to be had, because allied artists were nearly going under. They couldn't afford the recording sessions. What was the first song Elvis, Scotty and Bill recorded in Sun Studio on July 5th, 1954? It was Harbor Lights, believe it or not. And as Don Horn said, they went in, they tried Harbor Lights, I Love You Because, took a break, and as we know, the rest is history. They started fooling around with That's All Right Mama, and the rest is history. So, congratulations to JC22, and it's another victory for the ladies. That film must have been made for Nout. Yeah, it was done on a very, very small budget. Joycelyn Lane loved Elvis. Yeah, I'd like to speak to Joycelyn if she's still around. She's another one on my list. I'm trying to talk to as many co-stars, Elvis's co-stars as possible, because I think they've got great tales to tell. So many people also think that Tickle Me didn't exist. Right? Okay, yeah, wasn't one of the best, was it? There was actually I had a discussion with a few fans during the week, and somebody said that Clam Bake was the lowest point of Elvis's movie career, and I said, wasn't it Hear 'Em Scare 'Em? So what do people think? Do people think is which would you count as the lowest ebb in his movie career? Would you say it was Clam Bake, or would you say it was Hear 'Em Scare 'Em? Yeah, I mean, it. Yeah, Hear 'Em Scare 'Em was terrible, says Becky D. Clam Bake, and then somebody just says Clam Bake is awesome. Jake is saying that. So, I always think one of the funny things about Hear 'Em Scare 'Em is that Colonel Parker wanted to write in a sequence with a talking camel. So that just kind of says a lot about the Colonel at that particular time. Spar Barra says, sorry, I love both Hear 'Em Scare 'Em and Clam Bake. Yeah, okay. Doug is saying Clam Bake is the worst of the two. Yeah. Yeah, it's hard. I mean, the fact that Elvis was in the movie, elevates it above what it could, it would normally be. The fact that Elvis was in it makes it worth watching. Paradise Hawaiian Style, yeah. I don't know whether Elvis loved wearing the turban or not. I think he had fun making all movies. That's the thing. I mean, but what a lot of people were saying was, it was just all the songs were poor, and the Elvis didn't look too good. He was on the verge of getting married, wasn't he? So somebody is saying easy come, easy go. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go down on record now by saying that I would watch any of Elvis's movies, just simply because Elvis is in it. I spend more time looking at Elvis and listening to him sing and so forth than I do about the actual film. So, that's one thing that I want to say. I'm not going to run his films down. I'm not going to run Elvis down. But even I could see that some of the movies were poor. I mean, Hear 'Em Scare 'Em was poor. Paradise of Wine Style was quite poor. But then again, I would still watch every single of the 31 movies, not obviously taken into not calling That's the Way It Is and Elvis on Tour the Formula movie. Bill Bixby and Elvis had great chemistry. Yeah. By the way, you were on the short list for winning the competition as well. You were close, but JC22 just pipped you to it. Yeah, John is saying my sentiments exactly. I'm. You're agreeing with me saying that we would watch it just because Elvis is in it. Exactly. I mean, some people say if Elvis just stood there and sang the phone book, they'd still watch it. Double Trouble. A lot of people say that was quite a weak movie as well, and it had iffy bits in it, especially when he's singing Old MacDonald and things like that. However, I think that there was parts of Double Trouble where Elvis showed great comedic timing, particularly the sequence on the boat when he's trying to find Jill and then he nearly falls out because he leans on the door and it's not locked. Things like that. So yeah, of all the 31 movies, you could probably just pick out little bits and say, well, that's a really, really good bit. That's great. That's worth it. It's worth watching the film just for that part. I mean, they couldn't all be King Creole anyway. The way I look at it is not every movie could have been King Creole. So Clam Bake paid for the wedding. Yeah, it probably did. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. They all made money. They just near the end, they just weren't making as much money as the first ones. And I think they knew the game was up by about 1965, 1966. They knew the game was up, and they were just really seeing out the contracts. So, okay, folks. Yeah, Kismet was actually a good song. Vincenzo says the Colonel knew what he was doing. Well, as far as money was concerned, he did, yes, because I mean they brought in large amounts of cash on a very, very short working schedule. I mean, he could polish off a movie in, maybe. I know people say, Harem Scarum was filmed or Kissing Cousins was filmed in 18 days, but there was more work to it than that. There was, the recording sessions. Then there was the post-production and things like that as well. So, he probably gave about a month of his time for each movie in the mid-60s. But then again, he'd get $1 million. Then he'd get 50% of the profits as well after a certain time, once it made back the production costs. So it was a lot of money over a very short period for little work. So you can see what Colonel Parker was doing. However, let's not beat about the bush here. It did strangle Elvis artistically, and the repercussions were seen later on. It just wasn't seen when he was actually making the movies. Elvis himself said that he was physically sick sometimes when he was thinking about the movies. Right, folks. I've appreciated you hearing me ramble on for yet another Sunday. Thanks for keeping me company. I'd like to give a shout out to Rob Jones one more time for coming on and showing us all those fantastic LPs and CDs and so forth. It was fascinating to see that stuff. It really was. Don't forget, folks, if you do want to drop me an email to Elvis the Ultimate Fan Channel at gmail.com. If you met Elvis, or if you met somebody close to Elvis, if you saw Elvis live, I'd love for you to come on and tell your story. I'm going to say what I say every week. Without you, this channel wouldn't exist. It's you people that keep it going by watching my videos, listening to my podcasts, coming on and watching these live broadcasts, commenting, and taking part in the quiz. It's only a bit of fun, at the end of the day, it's only a bit of fun, but it's a nice bit of fun. It just goes to show how knowledgeable we are about Elvis and how much we enjoy, learning about Elvis. In these troubled times, I say it every week, things are going to get better. There is light at the end of the tunnel, but until next week or the next time I do this, because I might do one midweek or I might do one next Sunday, leave it a week and then do it on Sunday. Look after yourselves, and may God bless you. Adios.